Hillier or Hillier?
Hillier.
Hillier. It is Hillier. I am here with the one and only Randy Hillier. How are you today? It's day 16 of the Trucker Convoy. You've been here the whole time, have you?
I've been here most of the time. I did dodge out and go back home a couple nights just recoup and
Recharge the
warm up
batteries,
and see the missus, see the family, and but we're back at her again.
I ask this to everybody, but I'd love to hear your answer. What is this convoy about for you? What does this protest mean?
Well, there's only one thing: freedom. So return to normal, return to freedom, and there's more to it than that. If you know, this is about Canadians waking up and realizing that we can't allow a handful of, the small fringe minority up on Parliament Hill to dictate our lives.
Right.
And we can't allow the bureaucracy to run and make all the decisions in our lives.
No.
And I think that's why you're seeing such a polarizing element. This convoy has brought a lot of people together in Canada.
A lot.
And we see Trudeau still trying to use the politics of hate and division to separate us. But what we can see here is hardworking, everyday, blue-collar Canadians have said, we're going to take our lives back.
That's right.
We're not going to live in fear.
No.
We're not going to cower underneath the bed covers and underneath the bed, but we still see there are a number of Canadians, and mostly, the woke pansies.
Right.
The people who have grown up and have been indoctrinated with helicopter parents and helicopter governments,
Right.
and who are just a fearful bunch of pansies.
Yep.
Want to stay hidden underneath the bed covers.
Yeah.
And the rest of the real hard-working Canadians have said, this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
We can go out.
Simple.
This is what social distancing in Canada is supposed to look like.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And that's what it's going to look like.
Absolutely.
And if you were one of those woke, coddled pansies, stay under your bed. We're going to live our lives.
Yeah, keep your mask on.
Yeah.
But I was talking to some young men, and they're from rural Ontario,
Yeah.
and they said something very similar. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
what's it like in high school? And they're like, these people are afraid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, afraid of the virus? They're like, no, afraid of everything.
Yeah, afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we've been teaching.
And it's no way to live. It's no way to live.
Well, that's what we've been. That's what our culture is becoming. Our public education system is. It's too dangerous to play football. They have the no-touch rule in school.
Right.
Yeah, we're not allowed when we play hockey. There's no checking. That's bullshit. That's not the way to grow up.
Right. And I'm not watching the Olympics right now because I'm watching Ottawa.
Yeah.
But is it true they have to wear masks underneath their helmets or something?
Well, who would want to watch the bloody Olympics anyway?
Not right now. Not
like
right
this.
now.
This is the real world right here.
Yeah.
The real world is happening at our border closures, at the Ambassador Bridge, at Coutts, Alberta, at Sarnia, Cornwall, Ottawa, Emerson, Manitoba. That's where Canadians are standing up. And listen, there was nothing more warming and nothing more demonstrative to see our veterans the other day.
Remove the fence.
They removed an illegal obstruction that was trying to prevent Canadians from recognizing the valor and the courage of our forefathers.
Yeah. And the fallen.
Yeah. And they showed them.
Yeah. And in many ways, this protest, this convoy, is to uphold the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. We're taking that fence down, whatever fence they put up.
Yeah. It's uphold who and what Canada is. And what we've seen is Canada, once again, is leading the world for freedom.
That's right.
Right? And I tell everybody, this trucker convoy, it galvanized Canadians, and on the overpasses on all the highways coming here, Canadians were out celebrating, and what we could see is the truckers were delivering hope to Ottawa.
That's right.
Delivering hope to Canada, and they've delivered hope to the world.
One trucker I talked to said he's bringing freedom back too.
And and I know they'll go the distance. They won't leave until they're bringing freedom home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about these politicians, these career politicians, this Conservative Party. They essentially said, "Oh, we support the truckers. Actually, we heard what you said now, and now we want you to go home." When are you going to be satisfied?
Well, listen, we know most politicians in the morning, if they get out of bed, they go like this. And they look and see where the winds are blowing to see where the wind is going to take them that day. Okay?
Yep.
So, that's not a leader, that's a follower. And why do we pay big money for people to follow this? Okay? Have some balls, have some backbone, have some resolve. Stand up and tell people who you are and what you stand for, and take it like a man or a woman. Have some principles, have some conviction, and go and tell people what you stand for.
Absolutely.
Not which was the last poll I heard.
Yeah. And I want to thank you personally for being somebody who has stood against mandates from the beginning. And you were talking about the COVID restrictions from the beginning, and you haven't wavered. So thank you for that.
Listen, it was obvious to me in April of 2020. I'll tell you, it's up on my website. On March, the day after Doug Ford enacted the emergency measures.
In 2020 March.
In 2020, March 17, I sent Doug Ford and the entire cabinet a letter. It's up on my website. Anybody can read it. And I said, you got to be cautious about doing this, because I know whenever a government takes things unlawfully from people, they're dogs and they don't give it back. Okay? They're like a dog with a bone. Once they take something from people, they won't give it back. Yeah. And that's what I've been warning people about since April of 2020. These guys will not give it back unless we make them.
Right. Is there any hope for these career politicians, these dogs, or do they just simply need to be replaced with better Canadians?
Well, that speaks to the bigger problem about how our representative democracy and our parliamentary system has broken down, become distorted, has become dysfunctional. Political parties have far, far too much influence and control.
Right.
And, until we have elected representatives who are not beholden to the party, who recognize that their purpose is to represent their constituents at Parliament or at Queen's Park, not the other way around of representing their party to the people in their ridings.
Right, their brand. Really.
Yeah. Like right now, our political parties have been predators on our democracy.
For sure.
They have been predators, and we need to no longer be the prey.
Right, and they essentially just weaponize the issues. They use the issues to commodify it and just sell and get more votes, right? Yeah. But I wanted to ask shortly, the Trucker Convoy, it's a big movement now, and there's been these rumors, and I think it's actually proven that there are career politicians now associated with the people leading the convoy. Should we be worried about, who is leading the official representatives of this convoy? Is that something to be wary of? Any comments on that?
You should always be cautious. You should know who you're dealing with. This convoy, this free movement, is far bigger than any individual.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But be cautious. Make sure you don't. When you hear somebody who has flipped his tune today from what it was yesterday, be cautious.
Be cautious.
Be cautious as somebody who was a political operative last week and a convoy organizer this week. Judge people by not what they say, judge people by their actions.
Correct.
And if they hold true to their actions. But that goes for everything in life. Be cautious. Like there are people who will take advantage of any situations. Pfizer is a good example. Fauci's a good example. Obama.
Doug Ford increasing his net worth by tens of millions. Right?
Yeah, there's all kinds of grifters out there in the world.
Yep.
So be cautious.
Before you go, a lot of people are feeling this Canadian pride that they haven't felt in a long time. What's that like?
Absolutely. Oh, listen, to see when the police moved in on the Ambassador Bridge and the people just stood there. To see the people in Coots, Alberta, when the police moved in, link their arms.
Yeah.
This is
the veterans formed
the
line.
Veterans at the memorial.
Yeah.
This is what Canada really is, and I think a lot of Canadians were beaten down with the divisive rhetoric and hateful language of Pierre Trudeau for the last number of years, and the woke left. But I'm going to say to you, Canadians have won.
We've already won.
We've already won.
We've already won.
Just, Trudeau's too stupid and Ford's too stupid to realize that they've lost.
They're too stubborn.
No, I think they're too stupid.
Finally, any last words of encouragement to encourage Canadians to stand up and be counted?
Come on down, have some Flatten your fear pancakes here that we're serving up, and some sausages. There's opportunities everywhere in this country for you to stand up and show your neighbors that you're a Canadian. At every border crossing, in every provincial capital, there's all kinds of opportunities. Get off the couch, come on down, and show the world that you're a Canadian. Show them that you stand with our truckers, and you're no longer going to surrender your freedoms to that small fringe minority up on Parliament Hill.
Randy, are you a Russian asset?
Oh, Randy, that's true. Randy, are you a Russian asset? Did you plan this with Putin? Be honest. Be honest. Okay.
It was really, really funny. I've done interviews with American media.
Yeah.
I've done interviews with Russian media.
Yeah.
The only media that doesn't want to talk to me is Canadian media.
Wow.
And
the propaganda people. Yeah.
And I do a story with the Russian media, and I'm a Russian asset now. So
that's it. That's
it's hard to, you'd think that you couldn't make up such bullshit, but our media can make up a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, they're getting good at it too. They're getting good at it. Thanks so much for your time. Hey, here, whether there.
Good seeing you,
Thank you.
man.
Yeah, good to see you too. If you would like to support content like this, like, share, and subscribe, and please send an e-transfer to the link below. GregTheCanadian at Hotmail. Send an e-transfer there. Greatly appreciate it. It helps keep me here in Ottawa. We're going to talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.